This is Six Flags Qiddiya City. How am I here? Like, that's Falcon's flight. That's Spitfire. Look, we just hit the brake run. This is by far the craziest theme park ever created. I don't know how a place like this can truly exist because there is nothing quite like Six Flags Qiddiya. We are about 40 minutes outside of Riyadh here in Saudi Arabia for the brand new Qiddiya City Project, and this is just phase one. See, Qiddiya City is going to be the first ever city built for play, a massive entertainment destination that's not just gonna have Six Flags, but a massive water park known as Aqua Arabia, a massive F1 track that'll host Grand Prix, a ton of hotels and resorts, a ton of different facilities that are all going to be based around entertainment. This is just phase one. We're here in February of 2026 experiencing Six Flags Qiddiya, and there's nothing else yet in the city, but in 5 years, this place is going to look entirely different. And it's crazy because you see so much getting built as you're coming to this park, and you just know that this place down the line is going to be insane, as if it already isn't. But let's talk about Six Flags Qiddiya. This is by far one of the craziest, most ambitious theme parks ever created, and one of the craziest theme parks I've ever been to. Just walking around, it is unlike anything you've ever seen before. It doesn't feel like Six Flags. If you're coming in with the mindset of parks like Six Flags Great America or Six Flags Magic Mountain, well, let me tell you, you are about to have an experience you'll never forget, because this is nothing like that. I would compare this to parks like Magic Kingdom and Epic Universe. It's in that caliber of a park. The theming here is unmatched, and all the different rides and attractions here are just absolutely insane. Everything is record-breaking. Everything is next level. There are rides here that you just can't find anywhere else. But let's dive into the entire Six Flags Qiddiya experience. First off, right now at least, getting here and getting out of here is a pain. Really, you have to stay in Riyadh because that's where the central hub is going to be. That's what we're doing. None of the resorts around the park are built yet, but they will be soon. But because of that, there are a ton of different ways to get here. You can either Uber here, but make sure you specifically put the Welcome Center or you will be taken somewhere that doesn't look like Qiddiya at all. You also could go to the Jeddah Road Station. You could take the metro over there and then take a bus from there to the park, but traffic can be hit or miss. So if you're trying to rope drop, that may not be the best option, but if you're trying to get to the park, that is going to be the best option. Or you just drive here, but if you're coming from international, driving here is very different than it is in other countries. So there are a ton of different ways to get here, and every way is going to take about an hour if you're in Riyadh. And getting out of here, exact same story. And the metro closes at midnight, so if you're closing up the park, it looks like your only way back is gonna be by Ubering or driving. But once you're here, the experience is just unfathomable. I'm literally speechless talking about this park. It's that good. But let's dive in to all the different rides and attractions here. You go down this beautiful pathway. You're overlooking all the different rides over Qiddiya, especially Falcon's flight, which we'll talk about later. But you walk into the Citadel. The Citadel is this massive tent that holds this massive globe that basically allows you to visit all the different worlds. And there's a ton of different things in the Citadel, a lot of different shops, a lot of different restaurants. There's the Navigator's restaurant, which is by far one of the greatest, if not the greatest theme park restaurant I think I've been to, with some of the most reasonable prices for entrees that would cost 50 to 60 US dollars anywhere in America for what converted to around 20 to 25 US dollars. So the value here is amazing. And this place was awesome. I highly recommend stopping here when you come to Qiddiya. But this park as a whole is amazing. Every land is themed differently, and a lot of it surrounds Saudi Arabia culture and also a lot of fantasy and fun themes. So we'll start with Discovery Springs. This is gonna be the most attraction-heavy land in the park, and all of the rides here are really fun. You have Water Wheel. It's a mock ride, twist and splash. It's very fun. You spin on like a little teacup style ride, but you get to shoot water guns off of it, and you're trying to shoot fish or other people. If you have a lot of other people on it, this is gonna be more fun. If you're trying to shoot the fish, well, the gun can't quite get high enough to shoot the fish, which I found very funny. So other than that, this ride is very fun and it's very much family oriented. They also have Zuma Fluma, which honestly is one of the best log flumes thing I've ever done. There's two drops on it. One of it's gonna have more of that coaster section drop, which is always a blast, and then your main drop at the end. But the music that plays throughout this ride is super fun. The presentation is amazing. I love the little whitewater rapid sections. Not a lot of log flumes do this, but this one was swinging you back and forth. You were hitting those walls with some power. It truly adds to the thrill of the ride. Like, my favorite parts of the ride wasn't the drops, it was these sections of the ride. It was super fun. You also have Into the Deep. Into the Deep is a Trial Tech dark ride that is just a blast. This one honestly blew me away because your ride vehicle's moving around, but your seats are also moving. So you're getting a full motion of the water aspects of this ride. You're having to shoot different creatures that allow this bioluminescence to come out of the creatures. It's a really fun and well done ride. There are some thrilling sections throughout as well, some great physical props, truly a great attraction. There's some great physical props throughout the attraction and a ton of amazing things throughout. It really honestly surprised me. It's one of my favorite dark rides I've done. You're also going to have Sea Stallion. This is the headliner for Discovery Springs. It's a Mauer spike coaster, and there aren't many of these in the world, but honestly, this one was super fun. It was my first time getting to experience a ride like this, and I like how even though it's one layout in one coaster, there are ways you can duel with other vehicles, and you're traversing through the rockwork, heading over Zuma Fluma. It's an amazing ride. That was the biggest surprise here. I like when you sit in the front, because you have the throttle and the turbo button, you can fly through that layout, but if you're sitting in the back too and someone else is controlling it, you're flying around everywhere, you're letting them take control, and it is such a fun ride. That was the biggest surprise from this park, honestly. There's also Big Splash as Zamperla Big Waves, and there are not many of these in the world. This is the first time I got to see one, because I've seen these in videos everywhere. It's the TikTok icon, right? But finally getting to ride one was super cool. You don't get incredibly soaked, but this is going to be the wettest ride in the entire park. You slowly go up and you drop into the water. The water's going to come from above you, so as long as you tuck your legs in, it's really just the pants and your head that's going to get wet. Nothing else is going to get super soaked, but I love watching it from off ride just as much as I like watching it on ride. You truly get the massive wave feel of the attraction. It's a really cool ride. I'm very glad that this park decided to get one. But now let's head into Steamtown. It's going to be the Steampunk American Industrial section of the park, and man, it is really well done. They have Steel Stampede as Zamperla Whip that is super fun. It's great for families, but you have some headliners in this park as well. You're gonna have Sprockinator. It's a nebula that's in the heart of the Citadel, but it's based around the Steamtown theme. I love it because they talk about Professor Screamore on this ride, which obviously connects to Dr. Diabolical at Fiesta Texas. So I like that they're keeping similar themes, but it's a really fun ride. The nebulas are so visually pleasing and awesome to ride. We're also gonna have Sawmill Falls, a mock rides water coaster. And what's funny, this is a clone of Poseidon at Europa Park, which is not the smoothest water coaster, it's one of the first. So getting a new take on what I think is one of the best water coaster layouts was a lot of fun, because this one was very smooth, very enjoyable. I love the steampunk theme. There are a lot of cool fountains throughout the ride. The drops don't get you that wet, which is awesome. So you can really ride it even in the cold and get a true feel for the ride. It's really, really good. Definitely one of the best water coasters I've done. But man, the headliner, Iron Rattler. This ride blew me away. I feel like with every new gen Vekoma I ride, they keep getting better and better, because the first one I rode was very forceless. It didn't have that bite that I wanted. And then I rode Siren's Curse, a ride very similar to Iron Rattler. Same thing, I thought it was better, but it just lacked a true bite. This ride had the bite I was looking for while still providing an incredibly smooth and amazing experience. Some of the best inversions you can find. That first loop stall is amazing, and that double heartline roll, man, what an element. And the ride has amazing airtime. That tilt drop facing straight down over 200 feet, unlike anything I've ever experienced before. It is a very unique feeling and truly an awesome ride. That is one of the biggest surprises. I went in with very low expectations, and that ended up being one of my favorites. What an incredible coaster. But now let's head into Twilight Gardens. Twilight Gardens is going to be the family area of the park. The look of it is very similar to something like Wildwood Grove at Dollywood, but I feel like this version is the steroids version of that. It is so well done. The second you walk in, you get this massive tree that is just gorgeous, and it shines throughout the land. And a lot of the family rides are going to be in this park. You have Emirat Abuhara, which is a mock ride splash battle, and definitely lacked a lot of the theming that a lot of the other splash battles had. I didn't really know what I was aiming for. I think when this attraction is busier, this is going to be much better because you can shoot other people. And I do love riding it at night because a lot of the lights around the splash battle made it a truly beautiful attraction. Kaleidoscope Balloons is Zamperla Balloon Race. Very simple ride, but always a great crowd pleaser. Twilight Express, one of the new gen Vekoma Junior coasters. These things are super fun, and this version is probably my favorite one. It is butter smooth, it's perfect for families, and just has a little bit of thrill to where it's exciting for all ages. It is a great attraction for a park like this. And then you have Enchanted Greenhouse, an ETF dark ride. It's another interactive dark ride, but this one has a lot more physical sets. There's one section I love where there's a bee that is chasing around your vehicle, and then you get some like singing effects. Like it's tough to be a bug as a ride, but it was very well done. I love the bioluminescence scene in this as well. Some great physical sets mixed with some screens. It's definitely not one of the craziest, most advanced dark rides I've done, but for what it is a very, very solid attraction. And now we move into the Valley of Fortune, the area I'm standing in right now. And this section of the park has a lot of great attractions. You have Treasure Trail. It's an antique cars ride, but it's this guided tour as you are experiencing this Arabian camp, and it is super well done. There's lions, there's crocodiles, a ton of things flowing around you. It really is a beautiful ride. It's very long, it's very enjoyable, a nice ride, just sit back, relax, and take in the sights. You also have canyon charters and aerial carousel of a plane ride, and I like it because the way the cables hang, you truly get the movement of a plane. The ride vehicles are super sick. They're literal planes. It's just a very fun ride. It's very simple, very long ride cycle as well, so just a very well done ride. You also have Skywatch, an intimate floating island, and there aren't many of these left in the world. The only other ones I can think of off the top of my head are Efteling and Gardaland, but this thing is awesome. It truly is a really cool attraction. The uniqueness of just seeing this massive floating circle in the air connected to one arm, the views you get up there, man, they are so good. I highly recommend doing it in the day and in the night because it's really like two separate rides. You get a feel for the park during the day and then get to see it shine at night. But the headliner for Valley of Fortune has got to be this thing right behind me, Spitfire. What an incredible ride. It truly exceeded expectations, I can't lie. I will say I dissed on it quite a bit at first because they just wanted the inversion record, and I feel like they did it in a very lousy way by just building this coaster that goes back and forth and does the inversion, then it ends. Yet it's one of my favorite coasters of all time. So I take back everything I said. The launches are very fun on this, but going backwards over that hill, you get this amazing pop of flow ejector airtime. That back spike is truly thrilling. You feel like you're hanging there forever. When you go over that launch again, you are thrown out of your seat. It's probably the most violent pop of airtime in the whole park. And the inversion is incredible. It's so graceful. You're hanging there for just enough time where you get some hang time, but it's not enough to where you're annoyed about the hang time. It's the perfect ride. The airtime pop into the brake run, great, super smooth. It really did blow me away. I eat everything negative I said about this ride. It is really good. Next, we move on to Grand Exposition, and I love this. It's like a classic fairground over here with a lot of different themes. You have Roundabout, a bumper cars attraction, and this ride is super fun. I mean, it's your bumper cars, you're racing in a lap, and you can just hit people. It's great. Who doesn't want to hit people when they're driving? That's fine, right? Yeah, it's okay. You have Arabian Carousel. It's a classic carousel attraction, but a lot of the horses on here are going to be more themed around Saudi Arabia, so some of them are camels, which I love. Great theming. It's a very slow carousel, but great for all ages. Expo Flyer, a classic chair swing attraction with this Chinese theme. I loved this ride. The look of it is just stunning. The way it's placed perfectly in the center of Grand Exposition. Man, it's such a fun chair swing attraction. I love these rides. They never get old, and the setting of this one is just perfect. You then have Gyro Swing, and this thing, oh my gosh, it's the world's largest Frisbee attraction, and when I thought we couldn't get bigger, we somehow got bigger, and this ride is insane. Slowly spinning you up heights over 150 feet, and this thing is wild because it starts off fairly slow. I was wondering, when are we gonna hit the highest point? Because I feel like we're just wasting time, and then all of a sudden, it kicks into high gear. You are feeling the speed, you are feeling the power of swinging back and forth over 150 feet in the air. The G's you feel are amazing. I love when you're swinging and you're going in that forward direction, you just feel the wind. Man, this thing is awesome. Definitely one of the best flat rides I've ever done. Then you have Colossus, a new gen GCI wooden coaster that uses these Infinity Flyer trains. This is one of GCI's best creations yet. It has some of the craziest airtime I've ever experienced on a wooden coaster. Because of those trains, they can do much tighter transitions, and man, this thing has some power. It's very forceful, it's very intense. The airtime is wild. It is one of the craziest roller coasters I've ever done. I did not expect it to be as good as it was, but I remember hitting the brake run after my first ride with my jaw drop. It blew me away just how good that coaster is. Sure, the trains, the restraints, they can be a little better, but I know GCI is working on it. Once they perfect this ride, to see that GCI can make beasts like this gets me very excited for the future of this company. Now let's move on to the City of Thrills. Obviously, this is what everyone's going to come to Qiddiya for. There's a lot of different attractions in this land with the main headliners. You have Wind Rider. It's an aerial carousel style ride with some swinging features. It's very fun. I love the lighting package on this ride at night. It looks absolutely incredible. You also have Adrenaline, a Vekoma family suspended coaster, and this thing's very fun. It's definitely one of the better versions of this ride. The model they use for this is awesome. It has just enough force. It's probably the smoothest roller coaster I think I've ever done in my life. This one also has a couple little surprising airtime pops, which you don't normally get on these kinds of rides. It is really, really good. It was definitely one of the best versions of this ride I've done. Then you have Sirocco Tower, an SNS drop tower and the world's tallest drop tower. If there's any ride I was disappointed with, I gotta say it was this one. And that's literally the only ride in the whole park out of the 26 rides in this entire park. This park's just that good, but this ride, it was a little bit of a letdown. I will say the views, it is the best views you'll get in the entire park. It is crazy the views you get up there. Again, I think riding in the day and riding in the night, two different experiences. I highly recommend it. However, if you're looking for a forceful drop tower, you're not gonna get it. The launch is good, but I feel like something like Dr. Doom's Islands of Adventure is gonna have way more force behind its launch. Same with the drop. You're really not gonna feel it as much as you would on other drop towers. So I think it's great. It's a great record-breaking attraction because you truly get to feel the height and the speed of this one. But when you're looking for the power of a drop tower, unfortunately, you are not gonna find that on Sirocco. But now, let's talk about the headliner. Let's talk about Falcon's Flight. Riding this for the first time was surreal. I mean, we all remember when it was announced in 2019. I remember where I was sitting. I was doing homework in my bedroom as a high schooler, just thinking, that's never gonna happen. And I kind of ignored it. And then I saw the train reveal at IAAPA and I was like, oh, so this is like happening. And then we saw the construction. We were like, oh, this is like a legitimate thing. And then I booked my plane ticket and now I'm standing right here and I rode Falcon's Flight. Yeah, that's funny. But this ride is, it's unlike anything you'll ever do in your life. The only intimate Exocoaster. It starts off very tame. I say tame because of what comes after, but it really isn't that tame. Honestly, my favorite part of the ride is the initial launch and then the first drop. That first drop has a very surprising whip. That first speed hill, some great airtime. I love those little airtime hills at the start. The wave turn has a great pop. Also like the turn into the whip down. Wow, I'm describing this ride so poorly, but you get what I'm saying. The airtime is amazing on this thing. And then you launch up the cliff. When you're launching that fast for that long, it is a crazy feeling. You're just like, man, we're just not slowing down. And you are speeding up to 100 miles per hour up a massive 600-foot frickin' mountain. When you reach the top, you just meander around. I mean, you hit an outer bank off a 600-foot cliff. This ride is like messing with you the entire first half. I love it. Like the start is just teasing you like, haha, look, you gotta see what's coming. Then it launches you up and you're like, now you kind of get a taste. Let's throw you off the edge real quick before you fall off of it. It is, I love this ride. And then you hit that trim. I love how it just hangs you there for such a long period of time. In the front, it's literally gonna feel like a dive coaster. In the back, you're gonna get a nice whip down. And then you fall straight down before you go through a tunnel. You're just speeding up and speeding up and speeding up, and then you hit that third launch, 155 miles per hour. It's one of the craziest experiences out there. And then you pull down into the massive 500+ foot tall Camelback. For anyone who's calling this ride Falcon's Forceless or was saying this ride isn't intense, shut up. That pull out at the bottom of that third launch into the Camelback is one of the most forceful coaster elements I've ever felt in my entire life. And then after that Camelback, you are just whipping 100+ miles per hour through the rest of this layout. And it's so fast, it's insane. You are just going at speeds I can't even discuss because they're just that crazy. It is no doubt one of the wildest rides ever. As far as the best of the best, it's not my number one, but it is sure up there because there is no other coaster quite like Falcon's Flight. This park as a whole is just amazing. I truly adore this place. I did not think I'd like it as much as I did, but man, I had 4 days here and it wasn't enough. This place is that good. I could spend even more time here without getting tired of it. I love this park. And if you're in the area, I highly recommend you come out to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia to experience Six Flags Qiddiya City, one of the greatest parks ever made. I'm gonna ride Falcon's Flight again, actually, so.